easy. We already have 35 people enrolled as of our dashboard this morning, 23 in progress. So it's very simple.
And we didn't have that many people in the meeting, you guys.
Yeah. And, well, go ahead and introduce. This is Danica from USI.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
My name is Danica Schaefer. For USI Insurance Services last year, I probably said Wells Fargo. They purchased us. And I'm here again today to do my little song and dance for you guys for open enrollment. I also have with me some carrier reps with Nina Mitchell from Blue Shield. She'll go through the Blue Shield options. We do have some changes, and we'll talk about those. I have Debbie Holt here from UCCI, your dental carrier, and she'll talk about dental. And we have Jim Blender here from the Hartford, who will review your life insurance as well as some of your voluntary options. So I'm going to go through the beginning of the presentation, and then we'll have the carriers come up. This is your meeting. So it's important that if you're sitting there and you have a question, to ask the question. Because somebody else in this room is going to have the same question, but is going to be too afraid to ask it. However, let me caveat that is, if you have a question that's very specific to you and your needs or your dependent needs, let's hold off on that and catch up with one of the carriers or myself after the meeting so we can do a one-on-one. Okay? If you do ask a question and it seems like it's getting real personal, I will interject and I will ask you to hold that question until after the meeting to meet with one of us. So I'm not trying to be rude or anything, I'm just trying to keep the meeting going along so we can have time to get through everything and then ask questions at the end. But if you have a question in the middle, like how does something work or whatever, please ask. Uh-oh. All right.
What? It was working, it was...
Stop the camera.
There, keep it. Good now. You guys, I see some familiar faces. This is the third time I have stood in front of you and have done this, so I do see some familiar faces. So you are going to hear some of the same information, but we want to make sure that if you're taking information back to your facility, you have all the information and you remember as much of the information as possible. So please bear with us. So we're going to review what an overview of what open enrollment is. We're going to talk about what's new for 2019. That means January 1, 2019. Who can participate, review of all your benefits. Mike's going to talk about your retirement options, and then we'll close it up with next steps and deadlines. We do have some things happening for 2019. We are making some changes to the Blue Shield Trio HMO and Access Plus HMO plans. Danita will review those with you. Okay? We still have the HRA fund. Remember, we put that in place January 1. That is going to continue for 2019. We have some changes to your co-pays. This is really important. You must go online to the ADP self-service system and either enroll or decline coverage. If you are currently enrolled today and you miss the deadline, or you don't enroll at all, you will not have coverage for January 1, 2019 through December 31, 2019. So it's very important that everybody who's eligible touches that ADP self-service system in one way or another. Okay? Your PCP will remain the same even though we are making changes to the Blue Shield plan. You do not need to change your PCP unless you want to. If you want to, do not go to Human Resources. They cannot help you. They will not help you. You will either need to go online to blueshieldca.com or you will need to call the 800 number and do that yourself. Any questions so far? Who's eligible? This is just a reminder. Do I have any very new employees in the room today who just signed up for the very first time within the last 4 or 5 months? So everyone here is currently eligible, must be working 30 or more hours a week. Your dependents are eligible as well as long as you enroll your spouse, same-sex registered domestic partner, and your dependent children to age 26. None of this information has changed, yes.
What if we are new?
If you are new, then you will be eligible first of the month following 30 days after your date of hire. If you have employees that are new, that are going to enroll, let's say December 1st, and then we have open enrollment for January 1, Eric, do they have 2 open enrollments? The December 1 open enrollment and a January 1? If they're eligible to start again in December 1, how is ADP set up?
Yes, so they would have a new hire enrollment. We want for them to go through that first,
And it says new hire.
and then open enrollment. So and what we see that the system does is it does have you go through the new hire enrollment first, and then open enrollment's always like the last thing that you go through.
So make sure that they still go on to ADP now through the open enrollment period of November 19th, so they can get their new hire done if they haven't done it already, and their open enrollment for January 1. Thank you, great question. As I just mentioned, open enrollment starts today through November 19th, which is a Monday. We are not making carrier changes. We're making slight benefit changes to our HMO, 2 HMO plans. No benefit changes to dental, vision, life, or the voluntary products. So why wait till November 19th? Why not Friday?
Why not today?
There you go. Any elections you make during this open enrollment will remain in effect for 1 year, January 1st, 2019 through December 31st, 2019. This is your opportunity during open enrollment to add dependents, delete dependents, change plans. Maybe you were on the Access Plus and now you have Trio providers in your area, you want to go to Trio. Maybe you want to change from the dental HMO to the dental PPO. Maybe you want to now add dental for the first time, or add a dependent to the dental plan. This is your time to do it. If you do not do it during open enrollment, you will not have an opportunity to do it until the next open enrollment for plan year 2020. Unless you have what's called an IRS qualifying life event, a marriage, a divorce, a baby, an adoption, maybe your spouse's coverage or open enrollment is effective April 1, and you want to go on your spouse's plan. If you think you are having a qualified life event, call Human Resources to verify, because you only have 30 days from the effective date to make a change. You know you know you're going to get married, you know you're going to have a baby, you know your spouse's open enrollment's coming up at a later date. Check with Human Resources. 30 days. If you do not make the change within those 30 days, you have to wait to the next open enrollment. The caution here are newborns. If you have a baby or your spouse has a baby, they're on typically the mother's plan for the first 30 days. You have to physically add the baby to the plan. If you don't, the baby will not have health insurance until the next open enrollment. Okay? Please keep that in mind. That is the #1 question I get about dependent children is I had a baby 4 months ago, and now they don't have health insurance. You have to physically add the baby to the plan. Okay. Any questions so far? I don't mean to be yelling, but they are filming and I'm trying to, yes.
So baby's born, within that time frame, they need to call or they need to add. Right, okay, because we have a lot, but
Yes, so let's say one of your employees has a baby February 15th. They have 30 days to get that baby on the plan.
Okay.
30 days. We'll use our little handy, 30 days. If you can't see it up on the screen in that last paragraph, second to last line in pink, is 30 days. Beyond that 30 days, sorry, HR is gonna be like, sorry, which is unfortunate. We don't wanna do that. That's why I really kind of talk about this to make sure that everyone understands 30 days. Okay? That's if you get married, or you're going through a divorce, or you're in an adoption process, or things like that. Everyone wants to know, what's it gonna cost? Well, if you look in your book, and everyone's got a book, full year are on pages 26 and 27, and part years on 28 and 29. I'm not gonna spend time on this because it's in your book. You can look at it, and guess where else it is? The ADP self-service system. Isn't that amazing? Yeah! Couple reminders though, it's employee only, employee plus spouse, employee plus 1 child, and then family. Family is employee plus spouse and 1 or more children, or employee plus 2 or more children. So this employee plus child is truly a child. plus age on one child. Maybe next year we'll fix that, put one in front of child. Okay, so just remember that. This has not changed, just pointing it out. Choosing the right option, it's an important decision because this is what's going to be your health insurance. When I say health, I mean medical, dental, like the whole shebang for the next year. So we've got some questions, and you guys have seen these questions. Maybe we have a new picture this year because maybe, I don't know, maybe this year I have to think about it a little bit more because I got married over the past year, or I had a baby, and so maybe there are more issues to think about. But how often do we use our plan? Is my doctor or doctors contracted? And that means you can have a different physician than your spouse or your children, obviously. And then how much are my premiums, which we went over. Questions? All right. So now I'm going to pass it over to Danita, and she's going to talk about what's happening with the Trio and Access Plus HMO plans. And everything else to go with Blue Shield.
Good morning, guys. So you guys are a little bit livelier than the 8 o'clock lunch. So I have high expectations.
This one's had already had coffee.
Oh, they already had a coffee. Got it. So my name is Danita, and I'm with Blue Shield, and I'll just talk about the plan options that you have available to you. We'll spend most of the time on the HMO plans. I'm just going to let you know the PPO with the high deductible or HSA is still an option. And you can talk to HR about that.
Or one of us.
Or one of us after the meeting, if you want to talk about the PPO specifically. So, as Danica mentioned earlier, we just have minor changes on these plans, so they look a lot like what they did before. So there was an increase in the copay and in the co-insurance. Does anyone know the difference between the two HMO plans? I don't have anything to give you, but you can prove to everybody else that you've been listening. The difference between the Trio HMO and the Access Plus. Answer right here in the front of the class. The difference between the Trio, ACO, HMO, and the Access Plus HMO is the network. So the Access Plus HMO is our full full HMO network with Blue Shield. The Trio ACO is an exclusive network with ours. So Gym Care participates in the Trio HMO, which I think is really important to your group and your employees. Beaver also participates, but if you want to go to the healthcare partners, then you may need to buy up to the Access Plus, for example. So if you want to know what those networks look like, in your handy dandy handbook, page 8 gives you an idea of what So the plan designs on both plans are the same. You'll see that you have an out-of-pocket maximum that protects you on an annual basis, so that's the most that you'll pay out of your pocket. $2,000 for the individual and twice that for the family. Routine preventive care screenings are covered at 100%, thanks to ACA. So just know, if you go into the doctor for a preventive visit and you get to talking about things that aren't preventive, we're talking diagnostic things like back pain, knee pain, headaches, migraines, and that will probably be subject to a copay after the fact. So just keep that in mind. When you go in for your office visits, this was one of the changes that Danica mentioned. The copay is now $35 for PCP inspection. Diagnostic lab and x-ray, you'll see that all those copays line up, so that's a $35 copay as well. Urgent care is a $35 copay. One thing I like to note or mention about the urgent care on the HMO plan is that you need to go to the urgent care that's affiliated with your medical group. So if you go to gym care, then before you have to access urgent care, you want to talk to your doctor to see which urgent care facilities you can go to. Okay, because once you're in your home area, when you're in your home area, you can only go to the urgent care affiliated with your medical group. Now, if you're traveling and you need to seek urgent care services, then you can go online or call Blue Shield to participate in urgent care. The emergency room has that $200 copay, so the emergency room should be reserved for emergent situations, loss of life or limb. So not sinus infection, not flu, not, bad stomach aches. I always say, if you can wait until the end of a football game, until the end of that reality show, then it's probably not an emergency. In hospital care, this is where you'll see the other change for 2019. So it was 10% co-insurance, now it's 20% co-insurance. But then we'll talk about that HRA fund on the next slide that's set up for you to help you offset those charges. pharmacy copays have remained the same. So you have 4 tiers, and then it depends on the pharmacy that you go to. So we want to get the best, more bang for our buck by staying with those level A pharmacies. So we're going to CVS, the CVS pharmacies and Target, Costco, Safeway, or Bonds. Then you'll see you have lower copays than if you go to the level B. So your tier 1, that's going to be your low-cost generic medications. Tier 2 will be your brand medications on our list. And some generic. Tier 3 will be those that are not on our preferred list of medicines. And some high-cost generics will be in that 3rd tier. And then the 4th tier is where you see the specialty medications and some of the other medications that are $600 and more. Okay. Any questions about these plans?
On the medical part, I know you have like CVS, Target, and Costco, but if you don't live in a town that has those and you have a Rite Aid, it automatically becomes a higher?
Yes, ma'am.
Because there's a lot of us who don't have that in our little small town, so it's like a 25, 30-minute drive back this way. Okay.
Okay. Mail, so if you're taking, if you're taking maintenance medication, then you can use mail order from CVS. Yeah, and that can save you and your employees so much there. Okay. Great question. Thank you for bringing that up. Any questions about the HMO plan? So remember, you guys are also doing your AD&D employee hands going up. So HMO plan, you have to pick a primary care physician. That primary care physician then facilitates your care and is responsible for referring you to specialists. So you don't have to do anything to that.
Are there any additional charges for mail order prescriptions as opposed to picking up in store?
Is there a fee?
No. So you have, you're going to pay twice the amount for a 90-day supply. So it saves you money. Buy 2, get 1 free. So there aren't any, you don't have to pay for shipping, for example. You don't have to pay for that.
That's great.
And if the actual cost of the medication is lower than the copay, they only charge the actual cost. So I can get some of my medications for 3 months for $8 because they're cheap. So it's not always the full amount there.
My question is, I'd like to know where I could get information if I need to find that urgent care, because a lot of times, I don't know where they're at. I've only gone once, and because I didn't know where they were at, and it was kind of like somewhat an emergency, but like you said.
Yeah, so
I didn't know where do I go to see? Where's the list?
online. So again,
about the
if you're
app.
on the HMO and you're in your home area, then you want to make sure that you're talking to your doctor first about the urgent care facilities affiliated with the medical group. Because when you're in your home area, you can't just go to any urgent care. But if you're traveling, then you can find a doctor on blueshield.com and search for participating urgent care facilities there. And I think on the portal, we have information on how to find a doctor.
The medical card has an 800 number that they can give you access to that. Tell them about the app. There's a Blue Shield app that you can download on your phone, also access through there.
Very good, Lupe. Or the app. Let's not talk about that.
Very handy.
Great question.
The deal is with urgent care, you want to know where your urgent care facility is that's connected to your primary care physician before you need it. So, as Danita said, you either want to check with your physician's office, what urgent cares are you affiliated with, you want to download the app, or you want to go online. Okay?
Oh, they have to be affiliated. I didn't know
Very
that.
good question.
Oh, yeah, with your PCP, with an HMO.
So we can talk about an
I
alternative
want to send us.
to urgent care. So Teladoc, have any of you used Teladoc before? Love it, awesome. So an alternative to urgent care and something that you can also use when you're traveling is Teladoc. So on the HMO plans, you have a $5 copay. So Teladoc is our telehealth provider. They offer a virtual visit, either by phone or video chat.
They have app too.
And Teladoc has an app. So just like we were talking about earlier, how you want to set up some things prior to actually needing the service. So Teladoc, you can go onto the website or through the app, register, answer some questions about your health history. You can set up your pharmacy, your preferred pharmacy, put in your insurance information, so that when you need to use the services, you don't have to take the time to do that.
Okay.
So when you use Teladoc, so when you need urgent services, like the lady back there mentioned, if you're not sure if you need to go to the emergency room. So if your favorite show is on again, you know, the Teladoc can help you figure that out. And when you're traveling out of town. So you may not want to go online and look up providers, or it may be after hours and you can call customer service. So you can access Teladoc 24/7. Okay? What can they treat? Here are some examples here.
Can you
Like say acute illnesses, and even rashes. I've used them several times for bug bites. So I snap a picture, I upload it, the doctor has seen it by the time we have our call. Look, 10 minutes later, and he can, you know, prescribe the medication, send it to my pharmacy, and we're done. I've had an office visit in 30 minutes. It's a little bit more than $5 for me, but for you, it's $5.
Remember, this does not replace your primary care physician. These are one-offs. You're traveling, you're feeling up, your stomach's feeling upset, or you do get a bug bite and it's after hours. This does not replace your primary care physician.
You guys have that? It is not a replacement for your PCP. Any questions about Teladoc? It's not a replacement for you. So let's talk a little bit about the fund. So as we mentioned already, the co-insurance went up on facility from 10% to 20% for 2000, or it's going up for 2019. But what CAPK is doing is funding a health reimbursement account for you to help offset some of the costs. So a couple of notes. If you're on any of the HMO plans, you're automatically enrolled and have this fund available to you. This is supposed to be seamless for you, so Blue Shield will automatically apply those HRA funds so you don't have to go in and initiate anything. If you have a plan that was subject to the co-insurance. And if you want to talk about how much money you're getting, if you're on the plan as an employee only, you get a $500 deposit into your health fund, and if you have any dependents, then CAPK funds $1,000. Okay? So the fund was new in 2018. But we want to let you know that if you have any unused funds at the end of this year, then they'll roll over for 2019. Important note, the funds won't be available until after March 31st. But if you have, bless you, but if you rolled over $250 of your fund in January, you'll get another $500 if you're on there as employee only. Then you'll have $750 that you can use after March 31st. Okay? It's really good feature, guys. So how does it work? You guys know how it works? Yeah? So we have some examples. So I'll just touch on some really quick. So we're making assumptions that this employee is on the plan by himself. So his fund amount for the year is $500. So in the first one, John goes in for an outpatient surgery that costs $5,000. His 20% cost is $1,000 of that. He has $500 in his fund, which reduces his out-of-pocket responsibility, so he only has to pay $500. So that's an example of the fund reducing your out-of-pocket expenses on those facility charges.
Excuse me, can you have this in your book?
So we don't have the examples in the book.
No, otherwise also the HRA, because we see HSA, so is it the same thing?
So the HRA fund information is on page 9. Yeah, page 9. And then the other example, we have David who went in for an inpatient surgery, which can be pretty expensive, at $25,000. Under the HMO plans, all of these services are covered at 100%, but there is an $8,000 facility charge. His responsibility, or his co-insurance at the 20% is $1,600. He had his entire fund of $500, which then makes his responsibility $1,100. And then what he's paying goes towards his out-of-pocket maximum that we talked about in the plan comparison slides. Okay? Any questions about the HRA?
So after that, then from there on forward, anytime he has to go in, there's no charge because he's already maxed out? Is
If
that
he
what you're
maxes
saying?
out at the 2,000.
Right.
Yeah. Then for uncovered services, then he is covered at 100% by the plan. Okay?
So, you guys also have the option of the PPO plan. And we've talked about this the last couple years. First off, it costs more, well, it doesn't cost more at Paycheck, it's the same cost as a trio plan. However, every time you go to a physician, it's gonna cost you more out of pocket. So, we've never really spent a lot of time in detail on this plan because 98% of all CAPK employees that are enrolled are either on the trio or the Access Plus. Is anyone interested in this plan? If you are, as we go through the presentation, interested, check with Danita after the meeting or check with myself after the meeting, and we will do a one-on-one with you and explain how a PPO with this health savings account, which is completely different than the HRA, okay, how those work.
We got it.
It's an early morning. Is everyone okay with that? Thank you.
Awesome,
Okay.
thank you, Danica.
Yes.
So I think Lupe's already referred to the Blue Shield app on your phone. So we just wanted to mention that. And there are also a lot of flyers on the portal about some value-added services on Blue Shield, so check that out when you get a chance. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Debbie Holt with United Concordia Dental. I'm going to go through the dental plans. I'm happy to say there's no changes this year. So I'm just going to give a brief overview of what we currently have. We do have the option between a dental HMO or a PPO, and open enrollment is the time if you want to move from the HMO to the PPO, or the PPO to the HMO, this is the time to do that. A majority of CAPK members are in the dental HMO, so I'll just give you a brief description of what the differences are. The HMO is a listing of dentists that are in our network. You have to choose a primary care dentist for you and your family members. I'm sorry, for you and your family, but your family members can see a different dentist in the community. So if you want to see one here close to work and you want your family members to see one close to home or school, they can do that. The nice thing about the HMO plan, it's a schedule of co-payments, so you'll always know what you're going to pay, and they're very small co-payments. It's either no charge for your cleanings, x-rays, and exams. You get 2 cleanings per year, so those are at a zero co-payment. And then if you need anything more major, root canals, crowns, surgeries, things like that, there are some smaller co-payments associated with that. The HMO does have a network, a smaller network of dentists in them. It also has orthodontia, so any type of specialty that you're going to need, such as orthodontia or referral for an endodontist or anything like that, does need to be referred to by the primary care dental office. The PPO plan is a freedom of choice plan. It is a very large network of dentists. You're able to see any dentist of your choice. If you do happen to see one of the PPO dentists, you can see the benefits are increased. You have a $50 deductible if you go in network, versus if you see your own dentist that's not participating, it does go up to $75. You also have, their cleanings are waived for all your preventative services. That's your cleanings, exams. We want you to go out to get those. Those are 2 per year. You can see the bigger difference is in your calendar year maximum. Calendar year maximum is per person and what United Concordia will pay out per year. So if you go in network, you see one of our participating dentists, you get $1,000 per year per person. If you go to your own dentist that's not participating, it drops down to $750. So you see there is an incentive for you to go in network. There is no charge for your cleanings. Again, you get 2 per year. However, if you go out of network, then you do have a 20% co-insurance. United Concordia pays that 80%, up to the $750. Basic services covered at 20 and 20 in or out of network. The preferred PPO dentists are at a contract contracted rate, so we have about 40% discounts here in Bakersfield, so if you're going in for especially major services, you're getting a really big discounts on those crowns, and major services. Major services are covered at 50%, so we're paying 50%, you're paying 50% of our contractor rate. So for example, if you go in for a crown, it's, and we pay $600 for that crown, you're paying your deductible and minus, which would be $250, because it's half of the $300 plus the $50, or $350, I'm sorry. Versus if you go out of network, that dentist can charge you whatever they want, so there is no cost control. You're paying 50% of the allowable charge, and they can balance billing for the rest. They can charge you whatever they want for that crown. Orthodontist services are not covered under the PPO plan, so if you're considering having any orthodontia for even yourself or your children, we do have $1,500 for children, $2,000 for adults. That is for 24 months of banding. You do need to be referred to one of our participating orthodontists in the network. On the HMO plan, you can change your dentist, or you can look up a dentist by going to our website. You would look up Concordia Plus DHMO providers. We have a mobile app. You could do that. You can go to our website and look that up. Also for the PPO, it's the Elite Plus PPO providers. So all of our information is online as the medical. We have a mobile app that will allow you to have your ID card and look up providers and even check on certain services to see what are available to you. Are there any questions on the panel? All right, thank you. There you go, that was a fun little tour.
I'm gonna talk about your vision plan, which is still with IMED. And if you enroll in any of the medical plans, it is bundled with your medical plan, so nobody has to enroll on this. And if you enroll as employee only, your vision is employee only. If you enroll as employee and dependent, that is how your vision functions as well. Nothing is changing on the vision plan. Just a reminder, you have a $10 copay for exams, $25 for materials. You can have exams, lenses, and contacts every 12 months, and your frames every 24 months. Okay, that's from the date of service, so keep that in mind. So if you want, if you have glasses and you get your basic single, bifocal, or trifocal, those are not progressive. Those are the ones that actually have the line in them. Then it'll be a $25 copay. If you want the line removed and you want that seamless, then there'll be an added charge for that. This is just a quick overview. Contact lenses in lieu of glasses is a $130 allowance, and frames is also a $130 allowance. Remember, they do have independent providers, Lens Crafters, Pearl Vision, Target, Optical, Sears, and JCPenney's. There is information in your book about this. There's also information through this ADP self-service system about that Freedom Pass plan that everyone should take a look at as well. Okay. Any questions on vision?
Just real quick, Sears is closing on December 1st for their optical.
No, that's not good.
They'll be moving everybody that's at Sears, they'll be moving them either to Lens Crafters or Target.
Thank you, that's a great, we did not know that.
You know, last time we had this, the added value for members, and I remember myself and some of our staff going to Target, and we had to really spend so much time. They did not know about this, you know, that we were allowed any cost on the frames. I had to call Loopy, and you know, it was like, we all had to go through so much of hassle,
Okay.
which we should not have.
No.
And then I was sent from one Target to another saying that, oh, that Target might know it, you know, so it was really like bad.
Yeah, okay, I will take that information back to our IMED sales rep and let them know and have them make sure that up here in your area, whether it's Bakersfield or Tehachapi or wherever you guys are located, they are aware of all these services that IMED has to offer to their clients. So thank you for letting me know. We were not aware of that. Anything else about the vision plan? Okay, I'm gonna turn it over, oh, real quickly, ID cards. This is really important because people do not either pick up their mail or open their mail. And I think I stood in front of you before and said, open your mail, especially this time of year. Pretend it's a Christmas card, okay? So, important because we're making plan changes on the Trio HMO and Access Plus. Every employee enrolled on those plans, whether you're newly enrolling or just re-enrolling, will get a new ID card. You also have the option of downloading the app, and your card will be on your phone as well. Okay? So if you don't care about the card, fine, don't open your mail, don't get your mail, don't do anything. You can download it and have it on your phone. But if you're interested in having a card, open your mail. Okay? If you need new ID cards, don't go to HR. They will kick you out. Your responsibility to go online, blueshieldca.com, or the 800 number, all that information's in your book, and request a new ID card. Okay? You can also download them from the website once you register. Okay? United Concordia, no new ID cards unless you change plans, or you add for the first time, or you change your primary care dentist. But once again, don't go to HR and ask them to change that primary care dentist for you if you're on the HMO plan. Call the 800 number or go online or download the app. Okay. And ID cards for IMED will stay the same. So all this information, you guys, the guidebook is set up exactly the same as last year. There's a contact page, they have an 800 number and websites on there for you, and group numbers. Okay. Any questions before we move on? We are now moving on to the Hartford products. So Jim is here and he's going to talk to you about your life and some additional products as well as the voluntary products that we put in January 1.
Life insurance, very exciting. Especially if you're a beneficiary. Now that I've got your attention, trying to hit the greens. There it is. See this red here? Your basic life and accidental death and dismemberment is 100% paid by your employer. This is good. Right? Let's see what you get. You get 1.5 times your annual salary, up to $200,000. Your beneficiary gets it. She's got it. She got the program. I've never seen a beneficiary turn down a check. Okay. The benefit reduces though at age 70 to 33%, and then one-time reduction one more time at age 75 to 50%. There's some added benefits though, if you're cautious. If death occurs through an accident, there's an added 5% benefit up to $10,000. Or who? Your beneficiary. If you're wearing a seatbelt, there's an added 10% up to $25,000. Beneficiary's getting happier. Time to grieve. And then the common carrier, airplanes, taxi cabs, buses, trains. I think Uber would qualify. Common carrier, 100% of the full benefit. So if somebody had $100,000 worth of benefit and they were hit in an accident and died in it from a common carrier, the death benefit would be how much? 200. Who said 200? Give them a cookie. All right. One thing I recommend to everybody at open enrollment, make sure that your beneficiary information is up to date. Even though you think you have it right, there's changes in people's lives. Somebody passes away, maybe a divorce or two, And then the other thing I want to mention to you about beneficiaries is some people just put juveniles down as their beneficiary. They want to leave it to their kids. If you leave it to a juvenile, what happens to the proceeds if you passed away? Probate, right there. The courts control the money. So who's ever taken care of the child has to go to the court every time to get some money for the child. So I always recommend, don't put a child as a beneficiary, but if you choose, that's your choice. But just know it may not be the best choice. All right. Any questions? 100% paid by who? That's kind. He not only won a doll, he's smiling. All right. Now I'm going to really get his attention. This is what employee paid. You just fell asleep on me. Okay, but you can purchase additional life insurance on yourself in increments of $10,000 up to 5 times your annual salary to a max of $500,000. Why would you want to buy something? If you need it, it's an inexpensive way of buying more life insurance. If you have a spouse, you can buy in increments of $5,000 up to 50% of the approved employee election, or $250,000. In plain English, what that means is you have to apply for something. Let's say you apply for $30,000 more. That means your spouse could apply for $15,000 more. Okay, but yours has to be approved. If yours doesn't get approved, so what does that mean? Was there anybody here who's in their first 30 days? Okay, so if anybody in this room wants to buy additional life insurance, they're going to have to fill out a questionnaire, health questionnaire. Until you get a letter from Hartford, that coverage is not in effect, and neither will your spouse's be if yours, until yours is approved. Okay? Children?
We have a question back here.
Go right ahead.
Where's the form located?
I can't hear you.
Where's the form located?
It's all electronic.
Where is it?
And we have some here too.
Is it on the?
There you go.
It's on the ADP system, and Eric's gonna go through, once we're done doing our presentation, Eric's gonna go through the ADP system for you guys and show you where everything's at.
Okay.
And
And I have some blank
then
ones
you
here
complete
too.
the form, and then you send it into Hartford, and wait for the letter to know that you have coverage. But when it comes to children, there's no health questionnaires. You can buy coverage in children up to, from 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, 5, up to 10,000, up through age 26. This is not a comfortable thing to talk about. Nobody wants to collect this benefit. But let me tell you why it's a good thing for people to have. Not every child grows up healthy. Not every child winds up having a career that is at high risk of injury. Somebody could be building tall buildings and walking on scaffolds. They basically would be surcharged or uninsurable. With this plan, when they drop off of your plan, they can convert that insurance at standard rates. So when you think about taking coverage out on a juvenile, think of it that way. Okay? And remember, what is the best part about this plan, sir? This benefit is paid 100% by you. Okay? Any questions? Okay, travel assistance and ID theft protections. I should have brought the water up. This happened in the first go round. Excuse me. Well, my assistant's bringing the water. Thank you. You get the travel assistance and ID theft protection automatically if you purchase any voluntary life. Travel assistance is a unique benefit because I think it's probably our highest utilized added benefit. As you can see, there's emergency medical assistance, travel, companion, dependent children assistance, emergency. There's a list. Pre-trip information, passports, visa, so forth, exchange rates. This coverage is activated when you're 100 miles away from your home address, not your work address. And if you have a family, it covers your family. And they don't have to be together. My grandson was on a traveler's soccer team, and one of his teammates broke his leg, and they were way up in Northern California. Okay? This plan would have helped out with some of the costs, even though that child had health insurance. Okay? Another unique thing on this pre-travel that I like to tell people about, I'm going to say 4 or 5 years ago, a woman called them up. She was going on a cross-country trip and wanted to know in the different cities she was staying in, what hotels would allow her to bring her dog. They helped her out with that information. So it's not just medical assistance and things like that, but remember, you have to be 100 miles away from your home address. Okay, on the identity theft, oh, I'm doing it again. Okay, the word assistance is very important here. This isn't going to put LifeLock out of business. But what it will do is it will guide you to do the necessary things you need to do if you have a problem. And in this world, this could be a good benefit. I'm sorry to say we need it. Okay, any questions? Voluntary accident insurance. Sir, what does it say there? Employee paid, okay? Anybody with children, anybody who participates or has a spouse that participates in rock wall climbing, motorcycle racing, skiing, or children just being children should consider this plan. Because has anybody known somebody who broke an arm or a leg in the driveway? My mother-in-law broke her hip. We told her not to move, and she moved. Okay? This is not a real expensive policy, but you do get to pay for it. And it pays over and above what your medical insurance pays. And it works off of a schedule, which is in your book, and it's for the different things that happen to help you with the co-pays and out-of-pocket expenses. Okay? It includes a death benefit of $90,000 if death occurs as a result of an accident on a common carrier. Boy, if you bought that insurance, you had all this, you'd wind up with a good death benefit, right? Any questions? The hospital indemnity. You heard the good news, your co-pays went up. This is a great way to help you cover some of the increased costs to you if you need medical assistance. This is an in-hospital benefit, okay? It also works on a schedule. It pays, I'm going to come down, you can give me this. Okay, but see, down here, on your first day of hospital confinement, it pays $500. Okay? After that, for the first 90 days, or second 90 days, $100 a day. Don't think that this is designed to pay the whole bill. Your medical plan pays most of it. This helps you pay what your medical plan doesn't pay for. And it's payable to you to use the money as you see fit. But remember, his favorite part of this plan, employee pay. Any questions? $401K.
It's my turn. How many people like free money? That's kind of what this is, our 401A retirement plan. You know, retirement's gonna be here quicker than you think it is. Just like Thanksgiving's in 17 days, and it's like we just had it last week. So retirement's the same way, because a month ago I was 25. With the 401(a) retirement plan, CAPK puts it at a 5% contribution above your annual salary, this is in addition to your annual salary, into a retirement plan. We recently moved from Mutual of America to the Standard. Has everybody signed up online? You see all the information that's on there and all the little calculators you can go in and do and figure if you save this much more, you'll be fabulously wealthy when you're 65. Well, you need to. Our pension mark is our, I can't think of the word now.
Like plan administrator.
Financial advisor.
Advisor, there you go. Pension mark is our advisor, and it's Tom Mean, and you can make an appointment with him. But the Standard is the one that has all the money and controls the money. You can call Tom to get some advice on investments, you know, where you put what and what's the best way to do. And you know, when you're younger, you can take more chances. When you're older, you want to be more conservative, and he can give you all that information. With the 401(a), you'll enroll after you've completed 1 year of service, and you have to be 21 years of age or older. And CAPK makes that contribution for you. CAPK only has to make that contribution into the plan once a year, but they usually do it every few months. But in a year, you get 5% put into that plan. There's a vesting schedule for the plan. So you can see that less than 2 years, there's 0%. At 2 years, you own 25% of the plan. At 3 years, 50%. 4 years, 75%, and after 5 years, it's 100%. What that means is if you left after 3 years, 50% of the money in that plan would be yours. But if you left after 5 years, the 100% of the money is yours, 5 years or thereafter. With what I see with the Standard and pension mark is they pay more attention to what the funds are doing and help us to make the best choices that we can. So if something's not doing well, you know, maybe they'll kind of phase that one out and bring in something that's doing better. And they don't do it like every month. I mean, it has to be a few quarters before they're going to make that kind of change. But I see them really paying more attention. Well, it seems like more attention than what Mutual did. Nothing against Mutual, but pension mark, they have more options to choose from. Is there any questions on that? Free money. We also have a tax-deferred annuity, which is a 403(b). This is one that you pay for yourself. It comes out of your check. You decide how it's invested. It's through the Standard, and you can talk to Pension Mark about your investments. But this is your money that you're putting into your retirement. It adds up. Even if you can only put in a couple of percent, 3%, you should try to put it in at least 5%. But it adds up quickly, and then the closer you get to retirement, the more you think, I wish I would have put in more money. So one thing my dad told me a long time ago was when you get a raise, take part of that raise and put it into your retirement plan. So if you get 2%, put 1% into your retirement, and that adds up over the years. So is there any questions on any of this? Okay. My song and dance is over.
I will finish this up with you guys. Deadlines. What day is everything due? When are you going to turn everything in by? I at least gave you until Friday. But like we said at the beginning of the meeting, 70 some odd people have already started this. And I didn't have 70 people in our first meeting. We didn't have that many. So you guys have access to go on and do it, and Eric's going to come up and talk about that in a moment. But I just want to make sure there aren't any last-minute questions for us. We are here after the meeting, Danita and Jim and Debbie and myself. So if anyone does have any questions or thinks of anything, please come back and see us. And we'll get you one-on-one, so just please be patient with us. Anything else? Yes?
For employees who are part-time and not eligible for benefits, they still have to go through and decline
No, they do not. We only invite full-time benefit eligible employees and full-time and full year and part year, but no, temporary employees and part-time employees do not need to go through this.
Anything else? Okay, so now I'm gonna turn over to Eric and he's gonna walk through the ADP system, which will also show you where all the resources is in terms of EOI form or flyers. Remember, your guidebook is just a summary of benefits. There are lengthy benefit summaries in the Benefit Resource Center, so if you want to know more about the dental co-pays and want to print it off, that's where you can find them.
So unfortunately, I do have to sit down while I do this, so I'll try to speak out. Certainly, let me know if you have any questions as we go along. I'm going to start with taking you through where we're currently keeping the most comprehensive list of benefit resources that we have available. We do have a lot of stuff on AD&D, and I'll show you where that's at too. But we are starting to use the agency SharePoint website, and HR has a website that we've set up where we're sharing all of these documents with you, and I just want to show you how to get there and take advantage of that and show your employees that also. So you can't get to it directly from the CAPK homepage, but if you open up any web browser, it's a similar web address. We use capk.org to get to our main web page and also to get to the link for ADP. To get to the SharePoint site, if you're using a CAPK computer and the IT department has mapped it, it will actually come up as a second tab whenever you open up Internet Explorer. If that doesn't happen, just open up a new tab using any web browser, and all you have to type is SharePoint, excuse me, my bad, CAPK.SharePoint.com. So it is .com, not .org. CAPK.SharePoint.com. And what happens is you get prompted to log in. So I've logged in on this computer before, so I'm just going to use that same one. You would use another account if you have not logged in at that computer. Enter your network password. This is your network email password. And then by default, it's going to take you to the home page of our SharePoint site, which is with access to all of the different departments' homepages. And then we, HR, have a homepage, so you can click on the link for human resources at the top of the page. And here on this page, we've got all sorts of links that take you to the same thing. There's the quick links here, which takes you to open enrollment resources. We have a little story that we built, and we have a link for it there. We even have a news story over here. So there are all sorts of different ways. Any of these links will work. They'll take you to our open enrollment benefits page, which has some information that we've already sent out in an email that's posted out there. But I wanted to point out some of these additional features that your staff might appreciate, including step-by-step instructions on how to enroll, online version of the Benefit Resources Guide, the slides from today, if you want those slides. Also, a link to important benefit resources. You can use that link right there, or at any time, this is sitting there right on the left-hand side of the benefit resources link. If you click that, it's going to bring you to like a folder structure where we have each plan, each provider has a folder, plus the PowerPoint presentation and all of the open enrollment meeting schedule is there, all that's there. And then within each of these folders, let's say you're interested in a deeper dive into what Blue Shield has to offer. If you just click, we have a 2019 member brochures folder. If you click in there, we have all sorts of additional folders, information about away from home care, how to find a doctor, and a variety of other forms and things like that. So you have this available to you, and you can get to it from the SharePoint site. Now, I want to take you through the open enrollment process. So I'm going to go back over to this first tab where the CAPK login is at. If you don't have this open, the login that we need floats at the top of all of the CAPK pages. So all you have to put into the web browser to get to it is capk.org. And when you do that, it will take you to our CAPK homepage, and then just click that login button. You want to log into ADP, which I'm going to go ahead and do now. And this login may be different than your network login. ADP is a completely separate system. And if everything goes well, you should be prompted to begin open enrollment. Now, of course, you could remind me later and go on to approving time cards or looking at other things maybe if you need to. But when you're ready, just click Start this enrollment. And the first page you're brought to is the dependent and beneficiary setup page. Now, the reason for that is that we want to make sure that if you are going to enroll any dependents into the medical or the dental benefits, or you're going to cover them under the life insurance plan, you want to have them entered first. And if you are adding any dependents this year, be sure to do this step right away, because when you enter a new dependent, it has to go through a review process. Lupe will get a message, and she's going to take a look at what you've entered and just ensure that that's correctly entered for a dependent, and will approve that. And then once it's approved, you can then associate that dependent with the benefit enrollment. So if you are adding any dependents, be sure to get that done early in the open enrollment process so we can get that approved and then you can move on and complete the enrollment. Now, there's also a place here for beneficiaries. You can associate all of your life insurance, and if you have the accident and hospital indemnity, or if you have even for the 403B and 401A, you can associate those beneficiaries here using a single form. However, each provider, the Hartford for the basic life insurance and supplemental life insurance, and the standard for the 403B and 401A plan, if you wish to have separate beneficiaries for those, we recommend that you complete each provider's individual benefit forms. Those beneficiary forms are available to you here in the benefit resources area, either under the Hartford or the standard. So if you want to have individual beneficiaries that are different than sort of like a collective one, then you can complete individual forms. Or if you just want to have it be collective and have everything go to the beneficiaries that you designate here in the open enrollment experience, you can do that. You would just indicate that here and indicate whether those folks that are listed here are dependents or beneficiaries. If you have any trouble making changes there, you're not sure, you want to review maybe if you've been with us a very long time and we have hard copy forms on file, maybe from years back. If you want to review those, be sure to reach out to Lupe and we can help you with that. Or you can complete a new beneficiary form here online. I recommend that for the second step that you just choose the default, which is to walk me through my benefit options, and click continue. And when you do that, you will see a splash screen which is the exact same language that you saw when you first logged into ADP. You can open up a copy of the guidebook if you'd like to, or review any open enrollment meetings that are coming up. Maybe you'd rather go through the enrollment after attending, your staff would like to do that after attending a meeting. When you're ready to begin the step-by-step process, you can either click this link here in the upper right-hand corner, or you can click each one of these step-by-step. Just put that there. If you're currently enrolled, you should see a screen that's kind of like this where it tells you you're already enrolled. Now, I'm not enrolled in either one of these medical plans, so it doesn't show that for me. But if I wanted to enroll in these, I could enroll in them right from here. Or if I'm already enrolled, I can basically review my settings here by clicking Edit Plan, or just looking at the cost, and then adjusting the cost either by month or by pay period right from this screen. I can do it that way too. If I want to enroll in this plan, I would just click Enroll in this plan, select the level of coverage that I want. Now again, I do need to have those dependents on file if I'm going to cover them, but if I'm just covering myself, there are no dependents to add. And unless you're brand new to the benefit for the very first time, the first time you enroll in the HMO plan, please don't fill anything out in step 3. You cannot change your current HMO provider to use this tool. You need to do it directly with Blue Shield. Call the number on your card or make the request online. Just continue to move through the enrollment wizard step by step and just review all of your coverages. As you do that, you get a little green check circle that will appear there. You won't be able to make any supplemental life insurance plan changes. That's because of the evidence of insurability that's required, unless you're just dropping completely. So again, if you're looking to increase your coverage under the supplemental life insurance, maybe you want to add your children, something like that, please reach out to Lupe and let her know that you're interested in doing that. We won't let you do that here by design.
Eric,
Yes?
let's say you're dropping the child because they already exceeded the age, will I still have to talk to Lupe?
You, let's see, so you can give it a try here. We do allow dropping of coverage within this system, so that should not be a problem. But we don't let you make changes where you're increasing the covered amount, for example.
Okay.
Okay, but I think you can, you should be able to drop a child. Unfortunately, I can't test that because I don't have any sort of enrollment. So, but feel free to give that a shot. But that's all you'd be able to do would be able to drop it.
Okay.
If you need to add, please reach out to me.
Okay.
Or reach out to Lupe if you'd like to have her help with that.
Okay.
And finally, you can enroll in the hospital indemnity and accident insurance plan here online using this tool. You don't have to go out to the website like we had you do last year. So you are welcome to enroll here if you like, or check your current enrollment, or make a change. When you're ready and have gone through all of the steps, go ahead and click Review and Complete. Review the costs that you're going to see based on your elections. Make sure you're okay with that amount. You can view it either by pay period or by month. And then click Complete Enrollment. Now I can't do that because it'll complete my enrollment. I won't be able to show the next group my selections. But you would be, the last step you need to do is that complete enrollment step. If you don't do that, you're not done yet. Now, you can always exit and finish later, and it will save your settings up to that point. So you can certainly do that, or you can go back at any time. When you complete your enrollment, you will receive an email confirmation from ADP into your CAPK inbox. At any time between now and the 19th, you can revisit the process. So let's say you log in ADP, you no longer are getting that pop-up. If you come to Myself, Benefits, Enrollments, you should see an option right here for CAPK 2019 Open Enrollment, and you can go into that at that point. So even if you've completed the process and you'd like to go back and make a change, you can always be back in here and make a change. Click Start, go through the wizard. In ADP itself, we have similar resources that are available out on the CAPK website. They're just not as comprehensive, and that's because it's much more difficult for us to store the resources in ADP. It's a little more cumbersome. But they're available to you here under Resources, Company Information, Tools and References. Over here on the left-hand side, we have an HR and payroll area. And right about here, we have open enrollment resources. Again, a copy of the guidebooks available to you. Some deeper dives into the medical benefits, our dental benefits, life insurance, the accident and hospital indemnity program, and even some employee discount programs that are available. Are there any questions on that process? We are available to help your staff when they're ready. Have them give it a try at their workstations if they can. If they need help, we will be available in HR. We'll be having the open enrollment meetings, but we will not be providing the computers in those open enrollment meetings. So employees will have to come to HR and use one of the HR computers to complete the enrollment if they need help. And so please let me know if you have any questions as you're completing the process. Yes?
Eric, do people have an option of doing this at home on their
Yes,
own PC?
you can do it. So if you're using it to CAPK.org on a home computer, you don't have to remember the Workforce Now website or anything like that. Just go to CAPK.org, click that login button. You can do it from any computer anywhere. You can't do it yet on a tablet. You can't do it yet on a phone this year, but we're hoping next year we'll have a full mobile solution. And you guys can do it on your phone. But for now, you have to do it on a phone.
And everybody, if you guys are declining, if you have benefits this year, but you're declining for 2019, even though we told you it's going to end on 12/31, we have to have you sign off through the enrollment process that you're declining. And you need to give us a reason as to why. We have to show that we provided to you, that we offer it, and you're declining for any reason. So
you'll
please
see that
do
step.
so.
Yeah, you should see that step as part of the online experience if you do not select the medical coverage.
Also, we have benefit booklets for you to take back for your staff. Please only take what you need.
For your staff members, yes. We will limit,
Well, thank you very much, everyone.